Hi, it's Allison responding week 10. Why is Jordan so stable? First of all, I think they have clear government procedures. Their treatment of the Palestinians. They have economic development along Western lines. They are at peace with Israel as of 1994. They are focused on regime security. It's not a political hotbed like some of its neighbors. And it booted out the PLO. That's kind of a list of reasons that I think assist Jordan in remaining stable. The Jordan First principle with economic development. I don't know why every time I start recording, like, my nose starts running. I'm always like, sorry. All right, so I think that King Abdullah started on the path of economic development, free trade, establishing NGOs, which is uncommon in the region. All of that has assisted Jordan, which is relatively small and not a wealthy nation, certainly like some of its neighbors. It has helped it to develop. Jordan seems to have great bounce, great rebound, even after it lost support from the Gulf states and Europe and the West. It was able to hold on, and then it was able to rebound once those warm ties were reestablished. And so its influence and involvement is not limited, this is what the text says, by its size or relative lack of resources. There's the government, even though it's only quasi-representative, there is a trend toward liberalized economy and democracy. And having reestablished warm ties following a loss of support and getting that economic aid reestablished really helped as well. It's also not torn by civil war, and sorry for the dogs, and it's not considered an axis of evil, which is also helpful. The limited democratization that came following the IMF intervention, which then Jordan reversed, also assisted it. Jordan is able to maintain a certain distance from some of the other conflicts going on, especially like in the last decade, following what it seems to have learned with lessons in Iraq, with having supported Iraq. So anyway, it hosts the World Economic Forum annually, which brings in revenue. It's a player. It's a national player. And I think that that's what helps to keep it stable. Of course, having the idea that Jordan First, that principle certainly doesn't hurt as well. But then, I would say that Iraq feels the same way and Iran feels the same way. Everybody's first, but Jordan seems to be able to put plans in place that support the idea, support the principle, not just for the sake of autocratic rule, but for the sake of development, for the sake of moving forward and moving toward prosperity. So the reason that I think that that its granting of citizenship to Palestinians is important is because I think no matter what everybody thinks about Jordan, they are the only ones who opened that door. And then by removing the PLO and kind of separating the PLO from the Palestinian question shows some insight that Jordanian leadership has had. And I think that that's given a little bit of street cred in the region. So anyway, booting out the PLO was just a great idea. I just think that carried a lot. So that's all I have. And having warm ties, I would say, is high on the list of one of the reasons it's stable. Warm ties being what the author said with the U.S. and Europe. It gets a lot of support that way, and yet it remains sovereign and able to develop as leadership deems appropriate for the nation. Thanks.